Hello YouTube. I want to make a follow-up video to a previous one I made regarding Yahweh being one of many Elohim. As background, I'm going to bring up a couple verses that I used in that video. This is from Deuteronomy 32 verses 8 and 9. And I'm going to leave the names of God untranslated. Now, this translation is attested to by the Revised Standard Version, the New Revised Standard Version, and the English Standard Version of the Old Testament. And it's also attested to in page 32 of this book, The Early History of God by Mark S. Smith. I'll provide more information on that book in the reference bar. When Elyon apportioned the nations, when he divided humankind, he fixed the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the sons of El. Yahweh's own portion was his people, Jacob his allotted share. So there's a differentiation being made between El, who is the high god of the Canaanite pantheon, and Yahweh, who received a portion, a nation, the nation of Israel, from El. Now, this idea seems to be reinforced in 1 Samuel in a conversation that David is having with Saul. He says this, "Now, therefore, let my lord the king hear the words of his servant. If it is Yahweh who has stirred you up against me, may he accept an offering. But if it is mortals, may they be cursed before Yahweh. For they have driven me out today from my share in the heritage of Yahweh, saying, go serve other Elohim." So again, the nation of Israel is being referred to as the heritage of Yahweh. And David is mentioning, go serve other Elohim, meaning Elohim which have been allotted other existing nations. Now, there seem to be other ideas in the Hebrew Bible that conflict a little with this. It seems like some of these actions, namely attribution of things to people, which has been done by El, it seems, in those two examples, are now being done by Yahweh. This is Deuteronomy 4:19. "And when you look up to the heavens and see the sun, the moon, and the stars, all the host of heaven, do not be led astray and bow down to them and serve them. Things that Yahweh your Elohim has allotted to all the peoples everywhere under heaven." So Yahweh is doing the allotting now. And I also have a few examples of Psalms which begin to equate Yahweh with El and also with Elyon. This is Psalm 68 verses 18 through 20. "You ascended the high mount, leading captives in your train and receiving gifts from people, even from those who rebel against Yah Elohim's abiding there. Blessed be Adonai, who daily bears us up. El is our salvation. Our El is El of salvation, and to Yahweh Adonai belongs escape from death." This is Psalm 29 verses 1 through 3. "Ascribe to Yahweh, O heavenly beings," which is also sons of El. "Ascribe to Yahweh glory and strength. Ascribe to Yahweh the glory of his name. Worship Yahweh in his holy splendor. The voice of Yahweh is over the waters. El of glory thunders. Yahweh over mighty waters." And this is from Psalm 57 verses 1 through 3. "Be merciful to me, O Elohim, be merciful to me. For in you my soul takes refuge. In the shadow of your wings I will take refuge, until the destroying storms pass by. I cry to Elohim Elyon, to El who fulfills his purpose for me. He will send from heaven and save me. He will put to shame those who trample on me. Elohim will send forth his steadfast love and his faithfulness." And now this also I'm going to bring up a pretty often misinterpreted passage, it seems. Mostly thanks to the King James Version of the Bible and maybe to John Milton also. This is from Isaiah 14, verses 12 through 15, and also read 22, because that describes who this is talking about. This is the Lucifer passage. You know, Lucifer was originally in the Latin Vulgate, and the translators of the King James Version assumed that that was a proper name when it really wasn't supposed to be. So this says, "How you are fallen from heaven, O day star, son of dawn! How you are cut down to the ground, you who laid the nations low! You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of El. I will sit on the mount of assembly on the heights of Zaphon." Now that's important. "I will ascend to the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like Elyon. But you are brought down to Sheol, to the depths of the pit." And then verse 22. "I will rise up against them, says Yahweh of hosts, and will cut off from Babylon name and remnant, offspring and posterity, says Yahweh." So a couple important things here about the stars of El and also the Mount of Assembly, which is referred to as Zaphon. Keep those in mind. There is a passage that clarifies what's being referred to as stars of El. This is from Job 38, verses 4 through 7. "Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? On what were its bases sunk? Or who laid its cornerstone? When the morning stars sang together, and all the heavenly beings, sons of El, shouted for joy." So, the stars of El are also the sons of El, other gods. Now, about the assembly on Zaphon. In the Ugaritic texts, Zaphon is the mountain of the gods upon which there sits an assembly. I'm going to read a couple different things from the Baal epic, which give a little detail. Yam-nahar was made aware of the words of Baal. He sent his 2 messengers to the court of El. "Depart, lads, do not sit. Then ye shall surely set face toward the convocation of the assembly in the midst of the mountain of night." Now, yam-nahar is a sea dragon monster, which Baal kills. And after Baal kills yam-nahar, this statement is made: "Baal was now king of the gods, lord of the mountain of Zaphon." Now, in Psalm 89, immediately after, Yahweh is accredited with killing Rahab, which is also a sea monster dragon. It has this to say. This is in verses 12 and 13 of Psalm 89. "Zaphon and Yamin, you created them. Tabor and Hermon joyously praise your name. You have a mighty arm. Strong is your hand, high your right hand." So it seems that we have a few different places here where attributions of El and Baal are now being attributed to Yahweh. Pretty interesting stuff, huh?